Abba, to Kate. Thank you for holding this service together with such elegance and making that passage from Isaiah seem so relevant today. All these extra things on your shoulders today. In the Torah chapter, Nitzavim, that we read for Yom Kippur, all members of the community stand together after 40 years in the desert to hear the covenant with God revealed, given the choice between blessing and curse, life and death. Everyone is included, your heads, your tribes, your elders, every man of Israel, Kol Ish Yisrael, your little ones, your wives, Tapachem, Nishachem, your sojourner, the hewer of your wood and the drawer of your water. The covenant is sealed, not only with who is standing here this day, but also with who is not with us here this day. A contract with everyone, including unborn generations. Does everyone feel included in 2020? Who feels excluded? Maybe most of us just feel divided. We hear loudly exclusive views and watch dangerously divisive actions. We know how divided the U.S. is right now, as is Israel, with Jews on opposing sides in both countries. What does it take in a diverse nation or community to feel included, to feel heard, especially across ideological divides? We are divided even in our families. Some families don't include each other in holidays because of the political tension. Not only politics, but Jewish denominations are split within families. Yet we can choose to stay connected, to include, and love each other, even across differing worldviews. I may have become a peace builder from learning to navigate multiple perspectives within my own family. My father was a psychiatrist who believed religion is just people acting out of their father issues. My sister moved to Israel and became Orthodox with children and grandchildren who wear long black coats, headscarves, and fur shtreimels on Shabbos. I recall my assimilation-conscious grandmother asking her husband not to speak Jewish in public. Yet my grandfather became a Reform president in the temple in Cleveland, whose famous rabbi Abba Hillel Silver titled his book of collected sermons, Therefore Choose Life. This choice given to the people is central to our Torah reading for today. Life and death I set before you, the blessing and the curse. Therefore choose life so you may live, you and your seed. We have been warned in the Torah on page after page of terrifying divine trash talking of the consequences for turning our backs on faith and choosing the curse. 80 years ago, in his 1940 Rosh Hashanah sermon, aware of yellow stars on Jews in Germany and Poland and that a second world war had begun, Rabbi Silver saw the gravity of choices ahead when he said, "This hour calls not for fear or doubt or despair, but for faith and valor and the buckling on of armor, both physical and spiritual. We are met in the valley of decision, and the hour is the hour of destiny. It is an eternal moment when epochal decisions are being made which will affect the lives of generations yet unborn." We feel to be back in that valley of decision today, recognizing how much it can hurt when we choose the curse, choose death over life, authoritarian oppression over democracy, ecological destruction over environmental sustainability, when we choose to hurt each other and the earth. We think that things are bad in this country now, but my work in conflict transformation has taken me to countries that demonstrate how much worse it can get. Broken societies with democracy-crushing leaders who stay in power for decades, like Venezuela, Uganda, Turkey, long-divided Cyprus, Guatemala, Nicaragua, and too much remains unhealed in the home of our patriarchs and matriarchs, in Hebron, Gaza, Jerusalem. In dark times, we cannot see the full story unfold day to day. That too long arc of hopeful justice. Pharaoh's heart is hardened by God, yet his oppressive choices reveal a grander story of future liberation. Our young people are waking up, finally learning about racism, challenging inequality in the streets, and maybe they will even decide to vote. All are included in facing these decisions between faith and cynicism, blessing and curse, life and death. It is up to us to choose the path we will take as individuals and families, as communities and nations. How do we choose inclusion over exclusion, unity over division, choose life for our planet instead of fire and flood? How do we choose to not cause harm, as in the Buddhist practice of ahimsa, or to repair harm, as in the practice of restorative justice, one alternative to traditional policing and incarceration? How do we choose life literally, rather than poison our streams by dumping cancer-causing toxic coal ash, as the current EPA allowed to start only weeks ago? How do we choose to struggle against violence with hope and faith personally, like the Black Baptist practice of singing "This Little Light of Mine" to strengthen civil rights and racial justice work? The answer is in the question. We choose, alone, with a critical mind and attentive heart, and together, collaboratively, politically, today and tomorrow. Life and death I set before you, the blessing and the curse. Choose life, v'charta b'chaim, that you may live, you and your children and the next generation, l'dor vador. And as it graciously reminds us in this Yom Kippur Parsha, this challenge is not unachievably far away. This command which I charge you today is not too wondrous for you, nor is it distant. It is not in the heavens, and it is not beyond the sea, but the word is very close to you, in your mouth and in your heart to do it. In our secret hearts, there is a light that shines. On our choices and actions, choose blessing, choose life. Gamar Chatima Tova.
יישר כוח.